So we're setting up the house for the potential short-term rentals, and the master bedroom we have this king mattress that we bought at a really good discounted rate, but it did not come with a bed frame. And so what we decided to do was use some of the wood that we have around the property for various projects to create a tailored frame for the king bed. The wood looks crappy right now, but it'll look completely different once I put my sweet touch on it. The other thing that looks kind of crazy, that's an old bifold door that was for a utility closet in the garage that no longer worked. And so what I had the genius idea of doing was, hey, let's create a headboard out of this. And it looks kind of crazy right now. We're not completely done, or I'm not completely done with it. I don't know if I'll leave the rectangles there. I may fill that in with mud. I know putting mud on wood sounds crazy, but whatever. May fill it in with mud, sand it, and paint that top portion to be maybe a bright white. The bottom half, it doesn't really matter because the large bed frame and the mattress will completely cover that. But it creates a really unique headboard for the bifold doors. Being the bifold doors used in this manner will create a unique headboard for this space. And what do you think about that?
I love it. I'm excited to see how it turns out.
Yeah. folks, here is a quick look at the near finished custom king size bed that has a bifold repurposed door as the header. As you can see, you can still see the sort of tarnished wood underneath. That's not complete. My plan is to use bonding paint. I love using bonding paint on wood because it's so thick, and it gives me a better finish when I use bonding paint and then use a bright white over it. So I'm planning to use bonding paint on the sides of the woods that you can see. Now that I'm looking at the headboard bifold door repurpose, I don't know that I will actually use any mud to fill in the sort of indentations that are normally on a door, like what's there right there. I don't know that I'm gonna fill that in because once I actually put the king size pillows on the bed, all of that's gonna be covered up, and it's like, why take on an unnecessary project and it doesn't look super horrible. Actually, let me move this pillow out the way. Let's see. It doesn't look too bad, but I don't know. We'll see as time goes. As time goes along, maybe it'll annoy me to the point where I say, "Oh, it's got to go." But for right now, I'm gonna focus on making all of that look very pretty and white. But the other thing that we're gonna do, this edge here, where you see the sort of slats that we have, the 2x8 slats, that's gonna be partially covered up. Tim wants to put a footer along the bottom to make sure the mattress doesn't slide back. I don't think the mattress is going anywhere, but I'm not opposed to having a footer. And so he has to get another 2x8 that is maybe just under 60 inches long. It won't go the full length of the king bed. It'll be in a little bit. Paint. Love bonding paint. It's so thick, and it removes the need to do tons of coats, tons of primer coats. Yeah.
Finish coats.
When you're painting something from a dark base to a light color.
It covers up everything. Especially on this old wood that has a lot of very pronounced grains and even
gaps.
Gaps. Some rotting parts.
Fills it right in.
Yeah, that wood is all different colors. Part of it is gray, aged gray. Part of it is fresh brown. Not fresh. Definitely dirty everywhere. Technique.
Right now it's just covered. Right here we have screws that's bolting the legs in, and so I don't want to put too much paint inside of there. It's gonna, because this paint is so thick, it's gonna get in there anyway. And so if you notice, I skipped over that, and I wanted to just brush over it lightly so I don't fill it in. It sucks because I have these gaps right here that I want to fill in. So I've got to just sort of, I don't know, go with the flow, do something unique. You see how that filled it in? Just putting paint on the tip of a brush and dabbing the gaps.
Yeah, and this bonding paint is great for that. Where normal paint, a real painter would probably caulk a gap that big, either caulk or drywall mud it. But with this bonding paint, it might not keep the gaps filled in, but at least it should stick to the edges so the gaps stay white.
Right, and there's certain things that you don't need, in my opinion, to use
to caulk.
Yeah, you don't need caulk for this. It's a bed frame. We want it to look rustic, but with a nice coat on it. And so why would we caulk it? That just seems like caulking is for finishing and fine-tuning a job. This is a job where we want it to look rustic but complete. Yeah. And one thing I would say, never paint without putting a drop cloth on the floor. I'm sort of risking it all, but these floors are easy to clean paint off, so I'm not too concerned about that. But I have made the mistake of thinking that, oh, this should just be a quick paint job, and before you know it, I've got paint everywhere.
Yeah, if it was a roller, it would spray. This will probably just drip on the edges you're not cleaning up completely.
Drip and flick. Like when you,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
You have to watch out for the flicking of the paint. Yeah.
That was so cool that you guys built that.
Oh,
You know?
Tim's mom's coming in. Say hi to the YouTubers.
Oh, hi YouTubers. They did such a good job on this.